After months in the middle of a battlefield, these horses crossed to safety Wednesday near the front line in Kharkiv. They'll join other survivors of war in a safe haven in western Ukraine. Through more than 6 months of chaos, Ukraine's horse owners faced gut-wrenching decisions, many having no choice but to abandon their animals and hope they'd be rescued.
I know drivers, I know who needs help, I know how much help we can deliver.
Help that's still being organized on a near daily basis by Taisia Stadnichenk, the self-appointed equestrian 911 operator.
I've just got a message.
This cry for help is coming from a horse owner in Russian-occupied Kherson, caught in the crossfire. There's no way for her to help him.
If we send the car with the trailer to take horses from Russian area, our car will not get out, never.
But even before this week, before Ukraine's lightning liberation of the Kharkiv region, she managed to lead daring rescues to get some horses from Russian-occupied areas out of harm's way.
And people were walking with the two horses the whole night and part of the day. And our trailer was hidden into the forest. And it was bombing. It was just 5 kilometers from the front line. And we took those horses.
Trapped in battle-scarred Kharkiv, these 17 thoroughbreds were unreachable until now. They need medical care, food, shelter. But Russia heavily landmined this area. Are there horses that are suffering, that are dying right now?
Yes, of course. We have many cases when it's too late, when people just waiting, and then after it's too late, they ask us for help. You need a special transportation. It's not get a dog that you just put in the car and take for yourself.
In the Kyiv suburb of Irpin, seized by Russia on the first day of the war, Taisia introduces us to Evan Ramazanov. He owns these stables and an equestrian training ground. Ramazanov shows us video he took on the 24th of February. That day, his land became the front line of a war zone. He housed, at the time, 90 horses. 12 days later, he realized that he and his family needed to flee the property, leaving behind the horses. It was like an apocalypse in a movie, he says. 15 horses were killed, some from explosions with shrapnel, some from a direct hit, and some from dehydration because there was no water. The ones that survived, miraculously, he says, managed to jump over a fence and lead themselves to water. Ramazanov wanted to introduce us to Rodeo, the old horse he considers a hero. The horses couldn't stay in the field near the water. Shells were falling all around them. It was a miracle. This one stallion, Rodeo, gathered the entire herd and brought them home, he says. The horse understood that it was too dangerous to stay there. What did you see when you came back? I don't know if I can talk about that, Ramazanov says. But one of the survivors just gave birth. She stayed here all her pregnancy, he says, under such horrendous conditions, under the bombing. Russian troops commandeered the stables of other horse owners. The Russians stole from here?
Yes.
What did they take?
Oh.
Alexandra Olinichenko says the Russians stole everything in her barn, and 13 of the horses she boarded died.
I'm here in 13-year-old. Now
I'm 27 years old. I've lost everything, she says. What she hasn't lost is her love of horses. She leads many of the rescue operations. The biggest challenge ahead, winter, and feeding and housing 5,000 rescued horses, which costs around $200 per month per horse, money that comes from donations.
People, they are donating from $500 to $500 to $700.
From around the world?
From all around the world. From United States, from Japan, from everywhere. U.S. equestrians send veterinary supply donation for about $100,000.
Before the war, Stadnichenko published photo books of horses. Ironically, and no longer, Russia was her primary market. Now her life is devoted to saving the animals she has loved since she was a child.
Everybody has their own front line. There are people that are caring about people about caring about children, but I can care about horses, so I'm focused on that, and this is my front line.
Your front line?
Yes, I care about horses. Yes, I'm sure that this is my mission in this war.
That work, in particular the work to save horses in the Kharkiv region, continues to carry risks. Late this afternoon, we got word that Russia targeted the city of Kryvyi Rih in central Ukraine with 8 cruise missiles. According to officials, they hit hydraulic infrastructure, and now the water in that city is rising. And we're monitoring to see if that causes serious flooding. It may be no coincidence that this happened in President Zelensky's hometown, and also on the day when he visited Izium, the strategic hub from which Ukrainian forces removed the Russians as part of their lightning counteroffensive in the north. Given how close Izium remains to the front lines and Russia's continued ability to strike with cruise missiles, it was a daring move by Ukraine's president, in line with what continue to be daring moves by Ukraine's army. Chance?